Welcome to Chapter 2, Lesson 6, where we're going to learn how to adjust a gradient and to create a drop shadow. So to start with, you should have your Berry Symposium file open, and it should look very similar to mine. What we're going to do first is go to our Selection tool, and we're going to select our Berry words. Then we're going to go to our gradient tool, which is this one right here, which we can do by selecting our gradient tool or by clicking G on our keyboard. We're going to select our gradient tool. We are going to click at the top of our B, and then we're going to click and hold and drag all the way down to our bottom of our B. This is going to change the direction of our gradient, so we're learning how to adjust the different ways that a gradient can be applied. So we're going to click and hold, drag down to the bottom of our B, and you'll notice that now our gradient is horizontal instead of vertical. What I want you to do is use your selection tool now. Click anywhere on the artboard to deselect it so that you can see the difference. Now we're going to select on our large circle, which is our crimson-filled gradient. And remember, you should be able to see this over here in your gradient preview. And we're going to click on our gradient tool again. And it should give us gradient options here on our screen. What we want to do is make sure that our right gradient slider is as far over as it can go. We're going to take our middle gradient slider and bring it to the middle of our big circle. And then we're going to take our far left gradient slider and take it all the way to the edge so that your three gradient sliders look like this and your gradient has been adjusted in your image. Next, we're going to learn how to apply a drop shadow. So take your selection tool and select Berry again, and it should select all the words. We are going to apply a 1-point black stroke outline to this image. So we're going to come up to the top and where our stroke function is, use our drop-down bar, select the black stroke color, and then make sure that our stroke says 1 point. Then we're going to copy our word, and then we are going to paste it in the back. So we're going to come to Edit and Paste in the back. And you should still see that steel gradient because that is the gradient that we copied and pasted. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change that to black so that we can give it a drop shadow effect. So we're going to come up to the top where we see that steel gradient swatch, click on that drop down arrow, and change it to black. Then we are going to use our keyboard and we are going to hit down 3 times, and then we're going to hit left 3 times. And what that does is it creates a drop shadow effect on our text. So I want you guys to now use your selection tool to click anywhere on the artwork so that you will deselect everything so that you can see what that drop shadow looks like. So next we are going to do the same thing with our symposium. So take your selection tool and we are going to select our symposium. And then, so make sure selection tool, have symposium selected, and we're going to do the same thing where we copy. So you can do Control-C or come to Edit and copy. And then we're going to do the same thing where we paste in the back. Then you'll notice we have that latte color fill. We're going to change that to black. And then do the same thing where we hit our down arrow 3 times and our left arrow 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 down, and then 1, 2, 3 to the left. And now we have a drop shadow effect on our symposium text area as well. So we're going to use our selection tool, deselect everything. Then we're going to come to Objects and unlock all, because if you'll remember, we had locked our diamond section. And then we're going to go to Select and All so that we can rotate our entire image. And if you remember, we rotate by double-clicking our Rotate tool, opening up our Rotate dialog box. For this particular project, we're going to change our angle to 15 and hit OK, not copy, because we want it to just rotate our original image and not to make a rotated copy of our image. So once we hit OK, our entire image will be rotated. And we can go back to our selection tool, click anywhere in our white area, and now we see that our Three River Symposium logo is done. The last thing that we want to do is go to our view, our guides, and hide guides. And we have our completed assignment for Chapter 2. So go ahead and save this assignment and then turn it in.